Welcome to UC News, ucnewscanada.ca. The Canadian Crisis Response. I'm Dr. Dave. Here, I provide a personal and structural overview of the form and function of UC News Canada. This is an emergency economic response aiming to aid many Canadians in distress at the family to national scale. Guided by the top minds assessing the state of the world and working within the Supreme Court of Canada on all matters critical to our lives. For over 2 years, I worked closely with a local city hall, understanding how individuals impose their personal views and will across all society, working against the law and driving our destruction. Followed by 1 year in deep cover investigative journalism of another deeply corrupt local city hall, resulting in major criminal code charges against the directors being submitted to the Ontario Court of Justice. In Peterborough, the mayor and key members of council are pushing hard to cause the death of anyone who cannot afford rent or find a place to live. These are personality types that will kill to get more money, creating hellish conditions for others and taking pleasure in major Section 12 war crimes by creating inescapable conditions of cruel and unusual punishment. These also being indictable Criminal Code of Canada, Section 219 to 220, violations of criminal negligence of duty causing bodily harm and death, best described as aggravated negligent manslaughter, including plans for genocide, openly stating these goals in City Hall council meetings, then acting on them. I have therefore laid out, using Supreme Court rulings, the areas in which corrupt government officials cannot interfere with your life, wherein Canadians can act freely to address our most urgent issues, deciding for themselves how they wish to live. UC News is structured by 7 actions, each laying out the problem and inviting active response. 1. I ask all Canadians to imagine a scenario of survival to map out essential human needs, and the work needed to create a pioneer village with equitable, fair trade relations between friends and neighbours in caring community, these being rights and freedoms under Canada's top laws. 2. The creation of an hours bank system of social security by parental care and direction, organizing green jobs for youth and getting seniors the help they need, connecting people in care at a cost of less than 25 cents per Canadian by the fundamental right to ask for help and the fundamental freedom to respond. I am now kickstarting this in Waterloo, Ontario by donating servers, asking the local tech community to have some fun building the social connectivity website, asking Canadians across the country to pitch in by becoming founding members, bootstrapping this effort at hoursbank.ca. 3. Inviting all Canadians to join one company to go green at the scale needed. To get lives and projects going, I have federally incorporated a company, All Canadians, under the charter that everyone can join to go green and sustainable, considering the scale at which we need to work and the consequences to this generation if we do not. 4. This being impossible for one person to do, calling on 300 of the top minds across Canada to rise to the challenge, and in the public domain, lead our country to a safe, secure, and sustainable future, creating a world our kids want to live in. Merging the most important document in world history, the World Scientist Warning to Humanity, with the Canadian Charter, our Supreme Court Action Plan for a fair and just future, and turning that into friendly, community and family-based action plans for healthy lives and communities, addressing all aspects of life and life in Canada. 5. Asking, in addition, for another 300 of the top minds across Canada, but with deep understanding of life economics, and the Canadian Constitution Act to directly defend the lives of Canadians in distress across the country, to join the Ccats, the Canadian Charter Action Team. We cannot have 250,000 homeless and an entire generation without a life and future. 6. Most urgently, sustainable rural economic development with green job creation and in protection of farmers and ecosystems, finding ways to live lightly on the earth, understanding energy and physics, biology, and health. With internet access to information, addressing the Section 1 foundations of our Section 7 rights to life, liberty, and security of the person, in fair and equitable Section 15 relations respecting diversity. This being legal, constitutional, integrated social, economic, and ecologic security. We must stop destroying critical southern Ontario farmland, move north from crowded cities, and turn our attention to feeding the world. I have created a community work plan focused on light manufacturing and will be donating $10,000 in equipment and supplies to a rural community looking for work and sustainability. Let's make a deal. 7. Under no circumstances will I withdraw my charges against the Mayor and Council of Peterborough City Hall. Under Section 7 of the Charter, this being a case for public hearing, charging them based on evidence and circumstance with multiple counts of fraud, theft, and extortion of essential human needs, threatening the life, liberty, and security of my person by criminal negligence, obstruction of justice, and forming a criminal organization within government, advocating genocide, offending public order, and my safety by acts of sedition and treason. These being violations of the Criminal Code of Canada, Sections 380(1), 380(2), 322(1), 346(1), 219(1), 219(2), 221, 139(2), 318(1), 59(1), 59(2), 59(3), and 59(4), and 46(2)(a), respectively. This they have done. Quite to the contrary, as caring Canadians fully rejecting baseless authoritarian rule by force, threat, and bullying, we have the right and freedom by equality under the law to form a second City Hall online, deciding for ourselves how we wish to live, free from hate, tyranny, and corruption. This we will do. We had a deal. They said it was guaranteed. Our Canadian Constitution Act, their job description, our contract, broken. Government said how it intended to relate to people, but now the Canadian people must respond, saying how we intend to relate to government. This we will do, seriously and significantly addressing our concerns for the future of all Canadians.